During our trip to the Oxford Museum of Natural History, we spent time exploring their large and interesting collection. We eventually came across a taxidermy specimen of a striped hyena that particularly caught our interest. We decided to research further into the striped hyena and in turn the rest of the Hyaenidae family, which is a small family within the order of Carnivora with only 4 extant species. The 4 extant species are the spotted hyena, brown hyena, striped hyena, and the aardwolf. Of the 4 species, the aardwolf is the only insectivore whose diet mainly consists of termites rather than meat and bones, unlike the other 3 species, who are classified as bone-cracking hyenas that rely on scavenging with the occasional hunt. Furthermore, as well as being the only insectivore, the aardwolf is the only species in its subfamily of Protolinae. A well-recognized feature of hyenas is their immune and digestive system. The bone-cracking hyenas are able to digest bones, whilst their immune system is able to neutralize harmful microorganisms within the carcasses that make up a large portion of their diets. This isn't limited to the bone-cracking either. The aardwolf's immune system helps fight against the toxic secretions of termites.
The appearance of the extant hyenas suggests they are related to the dog family, but they are actually closer related to the cat family. This is due to the structure of their anatomy, primarily their skulls and teeth. They were then classified as their own family, Hyaenidae. Although the size of the modern-day Hyaenidae family is small, they actually date back to roughly 25 million years ago, with over 80 fossil species. The various extinct species were divided into 6 different categories: civet-like insectivores, mongoose-like insectivores, jackal and wolf-like meat and bone eaters, cursorial meat and bone eaters, transitional bone crackers, and fully developed bone crackers. The hyenas started to develop their specialized ability to demolish bone around the Pliocene period. Of the extant species, the first to diverge was the aardwolf, with the brown and striped being the most recent. There are various examples of extinct hyenas, such as Pachyrhocrocutta, which is the largest recorded hyena species, its temporal range being between the Pliocene to the middle of the Pleistocene period. But of the extinct hyenas, the cave hyena is the most notable, dating back to the Pleistocene period. The cave hyena consisted of 2 species, Crocuta crocuta ultima and Crocuta crocuta spelaea, which inhabited Europe and Asia, whilst their most closely related modern species of hyena, Crocuta crocuta, or the spotted hyena, populated Africa. Although they are relatively similar species, a full analysis of their nuclear genomes suggests that the Eurasian and African populations were largely separate, having diverged from each other around 2.5 million years ago. Analysis between spotted hyenas and cave hyenas revealed that cave hyenas may have possessed less social skills than their extant counterparts, due to having lesser developed anterior brains, which is used for high-order thinking, decision-making, and social interactions, suggesting that greater anterior brain and hyena sociability is a recently acquired trait in their evolutionary history. The cave hyenas also possess more robust limbs than living hyenas, making it more likely that they were active predators rather than scavengers.
Out of the extant species of hyena, the spotted hyena are the largest. They possess larger skulls and bigger jaws, with longer and larger canines and molars. Their large premolars make them adept at crushing bones, and their large carnassials are used for shearing and tearing flesh. Compared to the spotted hyena, striped and brown hyenas have smaller skulls, with smaller premolars and carnassials. Their teeth are less powerful as they don't typically hunt for their prey, but they still require the right teeth to crush and chew bones. Of the extant hyena species, the aardwolf has the smallest skull, and reduced molars that are incapable of chewing meat at all, as their diet almost solely consists of termites. The largest of the hyena species is the spotted hyena, also known as the laughing hyena, which are native to sub-Saharan Africa and is the hyena species most dominant at hunting. This is down to them having larger and sharper teeth than the other hyenas. The spotted hyena no longer must wait for their prey to die before eating. On long sides, proportionally larger hearts that increase their endurance, aided by their notorious social skills, they have become pack hunters instead of individual scavengers. Their strong necks, forequarters, and angular rumps protect them from being attacked from behind. Out of the extant hyenas, spotted hyenas have a strong sense of ranks within their packs and clans. Similarly to Old World monkeys, spotted hyenas have dominant leaders and are able to distinguish each other based off of rank. Like primates, they have larger brains and higher intelligence, suggesting convergent evolution of their cognitive abilities have led to more complex clan dynamics and development.
The striped hyena specimen from the Oxford Museum showed physical evidence of the species' notable qualities. Their large, pointed ears to aid in avoiding potential predators and hear long distances. Their short face and heavy head, and their relatively short torso with thin legs. Their long mane can become erect to increase their size so they can be seen as threatening to potentially scare off other hyenas or predators. Although the striped hyena is the smallest of the bone-cracking species, it has the largest population distribution, ranging from East Africa to India, but they are considered near threatened by the IUCN. They are primarily nocturnal animals that maintain a unique ecological niche. By feeding on the dried bones and carcasses, they help clean up the ecosystem and recycle any useful nutrients stored within the bones. Studies have shown that these once thought to be solitary species have now been found to live and operate in small groups, but they still tend to scavenge alone. The aardwolf, meaning earth wolf in Afrikaans and Dutch, is the smallest of the extinct hyenas, as well as the most distinct. The aardwolf has adapted for a completely different niche to the other hyena species. Aardwolves are specialized for eating termites. Its molars are small and peg-like for crushing insects, and their tongues are long and sticky, but are adapted to be tough enough to withstand the termite bites, as well as providing to be immune to the termites' toxic chemicals, chemical secretions that are released for self-defense. The aardwolf is believed to be the oldest of the hyena species still alive today. It is thought to have split off 32 to 15 million years ago, which would explain the drastic difference in size and morphology compared to the other species that have diverged after it. There are currently conversations whether the aardwolf is a monotypic species or it can be divided into two different subspecies, Cristatus and Septentrionensis. These two potential subspecies are found across different regions of Africa and have slight differences in their anatomy, such as the widths of the brain creases and widths of their canines. The last extant species is the brown hyena, also called the strand wolf, which is native to southern Africa and is considered the rarest species of the four. Brown hyenas are most closely related to the striped hyenas, yet they differ slightly in the anatomy of their skulls. The slight differences in their teeth potentially indicate a more specialized dietary adaptation. Like the striped hyena, the brown hyena is primarily a scavenger, but they are also aggressive kleptotop parasites, frequently stealing kills of other larger predators. Of the extant hyenas, the brown hyena has the lowest level of genetic diversity, which is unexpected due to their high population connectivity and low levels of inbreeding. But the fact that they are still alive suggests they aren't negatively impacted by the low levels of biodiversity within their species. In summary, the Hyaenidae family is a very small but highly diverse group of species that have evolved to become highly adapted to their niches over millions of years. They play a very important role in maintaining balance of their ecosystem by breaking down and returning nutrients to their environment. Thank you for watching our digital story on the Hyaenidae family.